more music varieties than you can poke a stick at. Northside Radio.
That's right, that's us. It's The Long Way Home. I'm Jane Arakawa. Good afternoon. Lovely to have your company this afternoon. And I have two very talented performers here in the studio with me. Individually, they are extremely talented, but together as a duo, Franky and Wendy receive amazing responses for their own original music and covers as they perform, well, sometimes, I believe, 5 gigs a week in Sydney's pub and club circuit with the occasional regional tour. Guests in the studio are Franky Valentine and Wendy Angel. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, everyone.
It's lovely
to be here.
Lovely to have you here too.
I've got an echo.
Have you got an echo?
No, it was you.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Franky Valentine, I'm going to start with you. You're responsible for the Franky Valentine project. I'm just going to say a few things, and if you can help us string these ideas together, Franky. The Beatniks, ABC's Play School, Golden Slipper, the 2000 Paralympics, wrestling, and West End musicals.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't win the Golden Slipper.
Okay.
But I composed the music for it for Channel 9. And
right.
I played piano on Play School for a while. And I was still a musical director for the Beatniks. I've left the band 30 years ago, but I'm still there in spirit and computers. And I was in the Club Nerd as well for 10 years. And what else have I done? I can't remember. The wrestling. Yes, did the wrestling for about 12 years, wrote the music, was the bad guy manager. Yes. Hate me, boo me at your own peril.
I see. But also, apart from this, you've been absolutely writing your own, composing your own work, and now one album out as the Franky Valentine Project and a new one is coming out soon, or have I missed that?
Very, very soon.
Ah, okay.
We're hoping for a July 31st release. I've just got to finish the last 2 songs.
Ah, I see. Okay. That's bloody good, isn't it?
I work under pressure.
Now, we might as well start too then with how then you met up with Wendy Angel and became also as this extra performance and extra production of Franky and Wendy duo.
I was judging a talent quest in the mythical western suburb town of Cabravale.
It's called Cabravale because they didn't want to say Cabramatta or Canley Vale.
Yes.
So it's in the middle of both suburbs. They made up a club with half the name of each. So
Cabravale.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So I went in talent quest, my very first talent quest of my entire life, and I was petrified. And Franky can take over from here.
It was like watching a deer in the headlights, just waiting for the truck to hit.
But I bet it didn't sound like that.
No, it didn't. It was wonderful. And I went up to her after the show and gave her my card because I do backing. I've done about 4,500 backing tracks and produced stuff for people. And I thought, well, here's another victim.
Say that. But...
Thanks.
And when he finally got around to ringing me about 8 months later, and one night she jumped up on stage with me and started singing harmonies, I thought, oh, this works, and it just fell into pieces from there. Fell into pieces.
So it's been about 3 or 4 years, is that right?
Our first professional gig together was Grand Final Day 2014.
What? Hang on a second. Whereabouts? Grand Final Day 2014.
At Maroubra Seals Club.
Yep.
And I said, wear red and green. And she
So I did.
And I wore teal because I'm colourblind.
So he borrowed my jacket.
So you guys basically went up on stage. Well, I know, Franky, you've been performing for a long time, but Wendy, you just jumped straight in?
Kind of in a petrified way, yes. I did. I have always, well, not anymore since working with Franky, but I had always suffered extreme stage fright to the point of, in school I could not even give that 3-minute or that 1-minute talk in front of a class. I would just totally shut down, clam up and wish the world would swallow me whole. But I had this desire to sing, and I was fine until anybody was paying attention to me. Then it all just shut down. But, so I had a crisis at a certain, I don't know, every 10 years in your life you have some kind of, crisis with what have I done? What am I doing with my life? So I entered this talent quest and Franky judged it. And it took me 6 months to contact him because I just thought he was out for business and I had no money for backing tracks either. He was. But I didn't know he was a performer, and he just said, Google me. So I Googled him and I found out he was a performer, and I told him that I wanted help with my stage fright, and he said, no worries, come along and watch me perform. So I went along one about 2 months later, actually. It wasn't even straight away. And was prepared to sing, like my one song, just in case he asked me to get up. I had my hair done, had the nice shoes, just doing the girl things anyway. And
I was the same.
It was about, and it was about 11 o'clock at night, I think, like the third set in, when he actually did get me up to sing something. And
you haven't looked back?
No, because basically the song after that, he just left me on the stage with him and to do a harmony with something, which I just made up from cartoons I watched as a kid, when I watched all the Beatles type cartoons and all the musical things that were on. My mum was a massive fan. So I just thought, I'll give it my best shot, and if I'm no good, he'll just tell me to get off the stage. What else can you do? And he promptly, second verse in, said, "Here, hold this," and gave me his electric guitar and took his cordless mic off into the audience and started like eating other people's chips and
and left you up there
and serenading the ladies in the audience and left me on stage with his guitar.
And did you feel like running away?
Yeah, I did, but I thought, this is a test and he's not going to get me. So
it's no test. Done. That's how I treat everyone.
He does, and I've since found out he does that to everybody. But I just put the guitar on because I've seen that movie Freaky Friday. Saw what the mum did. I just thought, I'm just going to do that. How bad can it be? So it cured me of stage fright. That's for one thing, because he obviously didn't care.
Anyway, fast forward from there about, wouldn't it be a year? Fast forward from there, and out walks Wendy dressed as Elsa, singing Let It Go in front of 900 screaming little girls.
Oh, I bet. Oh, brilliant.
I made myself a giant cape because the ones in the shop were not big enough.
What was I wearing?
About a 6 metre long cape or something. And
the other character, the
3
redhead.
metres wide. Yeah, he was my sister Anna.
Yeah, I had the wig and everything.
He looks great.
I still don't get it. I think I've seen the movie once and I thought, is that it?
No, I don't think he's even watched the whole movie. I don't think you're telling the truth.
My 11-year-old daughter wouldn't even sit through it. So
right.
I'm happy with her.
Now, we have got your, I think this is an EP. This is Franky and Wendy, the duo. And I just thought we might hear Running Away. This is Franky Valentine and Wendy Angel. Northside Radio.
Spent my last dollar on a bus to nowhere. Don't know where I am. Don't know where I'm going, but I know where I've been. I don't know where I am. I'm running away. Running away. Gotta find a ticket for a train to somewhere, just to find who I am. Can't go back home till I have a good reason, till I find who I am. I'm running away. I'm running away. Running away. When I get there, I'll know. Running away. Somewhere to grow. Running away. When I get there, I'll know. Running away. Somewhere to grow. Need to sell a song for a plane to somewhere where they know who I am. Need to find a place where some peace surrounds me, where I know who I am. I'm running away. Running away. I'm running away. Running away. Spent my last dollar on a bus to nowhere. I don't know where I am.
Frankie Valentine and the beautiful voice of Wendy Angel here in the studio, and that is Running Away, and it's available.
Well, it's available where you can download music from CD Baby, iTunes,
Bandcamp, iTunes, but
it's
YouTube.
on Spotify and YouTube. We made a little video for it.
Yes.
So you can go on YouTube and just type in the search there, Frankie Wendy Running Away, and you'll come up with our video shot here in Sydney. Actually near Mascot Airport, even though it kind of looks really deserted. I found a dead-end street nearby down there. So
I have tried to find some gigs and some information on, I think it's on your website, which is
good luck
Franky
with that.
Valentine Project. But perhaps Facebook is the best place to
Facebook.
chase you guys, both of you up.
Facebook for my website's been down for many years, but the Franky Valentine Project's just about the album, not about the live work.
Oh, right. Okay. So have you got some gigs together with the duo?
Oh, the duo we're
this
Ride-
weekend,
this
Oh,
weekend.
right. Okay.
we'll start with this weekend,
Yes.
Okay. Ride Eastwood Leagues on
Saturday
Saturday.
night.
Right.
we're doing a children's show, family show at
Hardboard Diggers on Sunday.
Right.
And that's 12 o'clock start,
12
I think.
start, and we do children's shows as well.
Now, tell me about this, because obviously with your ABC Play School background and piano, etc., and Wendy, you've been, well,
Elsa.
performing
Well,
as Elsa.
Yeah, I just wanted to be a fairy princess, really, and
Who does?
now
So
I get
did I.
to now I get to do that. Yeah.
Oh, it's something I fell into accidentally. I was doing some shows at Balmain Leagues Clubs many years ago. I used to go there and do like hot potato, the whole thing. And this lovely friend of mine, Julie Money, who worked for the ABC, which I didn't know at the time, asked me to come play piano on Play School. I thought she was joking, because it was exactly a week after my father had passed away when she asked me to do it.
Right.
And since I was 5 years old, my father said, you should be playing piano on Play School.
Oh, wow.
And it's very ironic that that's what happened. And so I went along and did it. I thought I'll do one day. That was fabulous. Called back to do a lot more episodes and became part of the family and wrote some of the music for through the windows and stuff like that. And it was just a wonderful, wonderful experience. It really was. And I've got myself 3 Mo Awards and
Wow.
3 Ace Awards out of it. So
Yes,
we're doing
absolutely.
the children's shows. So
Fabulous. So now together, you've also got a team up and what?
Yeah.
And dressing up as Anya, as one of Frozen.
Just the wig.
Yeah, he won't don a dress.
No.
Not yet.
No.
Well, hang on.
No, but it's pretty
Not
funny
now.
watching him cavort around in
My Kate Bush days are over.
a bright orange wig.
We're going to have a bit of a change of pace now, because I'm going to focus on Franky Valentine Project, which is the release. One of the items released was this Thanks for the Summer, and the instrumental and the music. And that's been featured here on Northside Radio as
Thank
well.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. And Franky, can you tell us a little bit about how this particular track came about?
Well, my Uncle Keith, I've been playing piano at a very, very early age. If anyone saw the Young Sheldon episode the other night, which he walked up and started playing piano first go, that was my first day at school when I was 4 years old, basically.
Really?
Yes. How long have you been playing the piano? I don't play piano.
And what, you just got up and started playing?
Yes. Now, obviously, I've probably been playing before that because I come from a very musical family on my mother's side, which all her brothers and sisters were in a band together. My Uncle Keith used to play me this piece of music. Ding, 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 ding. And it stuck in my head like an earwig for many years. And then I think I was in the Beatniks at the time, or it was maybe just after. And I thought, that'd be great. Oh, that's right. I toured with the Shadows around Australia.
Oh, gosh.
That's
right.
right. And so I got to sit there and watch them do 10 gigs as part of the support band. And I thought, oh, that'd sound great as a Shadows tune. I've got my Fender L-Series Stratocaster and played it like that. And that was a long time ago, but it only was recorded properly 8 months ago, 9 months ago. And it was basically a throwaway piece. Not even a throwaway piece. It was like a piece of music for the next album coming out called Life as We Know It, which is about varying degrees of life. Like the opening piece is my daughter's christening piece, and the last piece is my father's funeral piece. And it's basically stages of life. And Thanks for the Summer's like First Love, Beach type thing. And the response to it's been absolutely mind-blowing.
Well, I'm not surprised, Frankie, because it is. It's just delightful, and it really captures that sense of summer and also reignites those memories of 50s, 60s.
It's the most obscure track on the album because it's mainly classical, new age, full orchestra, just piano, and then this thing with the guitar sticks out in the middle of nowhere,
right.
and it got all the reaction.
Well, let's hear it right now. This is Thanks for the Summer. Thanks for the Summer. And that's Franky Valentine Project. And guest in the studio is Franky Valentine, along with... No, you're saying no.
No, I'm waving.
Oh, I see, waving.
We're not in colour, are we?
No, we're not in colour. Not this afternoon. We're not in colour. And also we have Wendy Angel with us as well, because Franky is Franky Valentine Project, but also together Franky and Wendy duo, and we're hearing some of the music from both of those productions, I guess one would say. We'll have another track in just a short moment.
In an age of choices, at a time of decision, when Sydney needed a hero of the dial, FM 99.3, Northside Radio.
It is The Long Way Home. I'm Jane Arakawa. Great to have your company this afternoon. And in the studio with me is Franky Valentine and Wendy Angel. We're just reigniting and just listening to some of the fabulous music that Franky Valentine has produced, but also together as a duo performing. And upcoming gigs, one this...
Right Eastwood this Saturday night.
And then
Sunday at Harbour Diggers.
Now that's a children's.
You get to see something really special
at Harbour Diggers.
Wendy dresses a fairy.
I dress up as a pink fairy.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's during the day. One
during
would
the
think.
Day. Yeah. It's not our usual. Well, it's not my usual work. It's just something I thought would be fun on the side. And
you've dragged Franky into it too, have you?
Well, no. He
actually
he took me along, and as soon as I became a pink fairy, suddenly I had to become a dancer, because if I put my hands in the air, the little girls would put their hands in the air too, and I put my hands down, they'd do the same thing. I was like, why didn't this even happen to me at home with my own children? It never happened.
It didn't.
But it does now.
Because they were disobedient.
Because I didn't have the fairy dress back then.
I don't think it would have mattered.
So when are we going to be able to have you back in to talk about this new album when it's released? This is the end of July?
I'd say early August.
Right, okay.
It's something different to the first. If those people who have bought All in a Dream know it's a bit of a bombastic progressive rock Rick Wakeman, Mike Oldfield, Mozart meets the Beatles, and beats up ABBA in an alley, basically.
Oh, right. It's got a big sound too, hasn't it?
And this thing's more of a gentle, leisurely, instrumental look at life perspective type thing. Pieces of music I've composed over the years. My daughter's christening piece was Welcome to the World, and my father's funeral pieces are the last one on the album. Right. And all sorts of things like Thanks for the Summer in between various stages of life. And it's the third album people have to be worried about.
Oh, okay. Okay. But there's also a sound of the musical. It's almost like you can hear songs that you would see on stage in a large musical show.
I call it a prog opera.
Oh, is that what it is?
A prog opera.
Okay.
I love prog. I'm a big fan. My favourite band is the Beatles.
Right.
By a long way. Then bands like Yes and Rick Wakeman and Kate Bush, all the arty progressive rock stars. That's what I aspire to. And I've managed to appear on the cover of Prog Magazine UK twice now.
Wow.
With a couple of songs, and they've done a wonderful review. And the All in a Dream album got a 4-star review in the Sydney Morning Herald. And for a progressive rock album, especially one done in said daughter's bedroom, so that was a massive thrill for me. It was like, I didn't expect anything like that. But I do got to give a plug to our publisher and our advocate, Peter Bales from SongTraks Records,
yes,
who's just done amazing things for us in the last few years. He's just like unexpected success of what we're doing.
Isn't that great?
He's the third wheel, basically.
Yeah. So Thanks for the Summer, the instrumental that we just heard, that's been heard here on Northside Radio as part of our surf reports, I believe, on Wednesday mornings, or Monday, Tuesdays and Wednesday mornings with Ronnie Atkins and Spot.
One of the radio stations in Melbourne, Southside FM, have been using it for their summer report as well. So
oh, right. We'll be hearing more.
Just... As I said, it's probably the most obscure track on the album because I never deny the fact I can't read music or I've never had a lesson. But I love composing classical type music. My love of the Bugs Bunny cartoons has just always been with me, and that's how I write the big orchestral sound. I just try to just layer upon layer upon layer, and whatever falls off at the end doesn't stay.
Well, it sounds great. So we can all look forward to more. It's Franky Valentine, and that's Valentine TYN at the end, Franky Valentine and Wendy Angel. But you can either look up, as Wendy mentioned earlier, Franky, Wendy, was it?
Running Away.
Running Away. But that's for the Franky and Wendy YouTube song, if you want to watch our YouTube video.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, funny story, that was the first video I've ever made in my entire life. I didn't make family videos when I was growing up because I was too shy, as I mentioned earlier, which included things like videos. It didn't occur to me that you actually mime when you're doing a video until I did one myself.
Right.
You were miming?
Oh, no, I was really singing, but it didn't actually click till I actually had to do that myself.
And you had your singing in the background of it, did you? Or?
I had to sing along to myself. I had a little speaker in the video that I walk around with the bag a lot because I'm running away somewhere and I'm lost. Anyway, I've actually got my USB speaker in my bag on really loud so I can mime along, or sing along basically to my own self. It's really
brilliant.
Yeah, it worked quite well.
It was like a reality show. It really was.
There
funny.
You go. Franky, Wendy, Running Away. There you go. You'll be able to check it out when you get home or right now if you're sitting at home in front of your computer. But do not take us off the stream, okay, if that's what's going on. Thank you very much for coming in.
Thank you for having us.
It's wonderful to meet you again. I know you've been in with John Regan on Thursday mornings as well a little while back, and we'll get you in when this new album comes out. Can you tell us, Wendy, a little bit about I Should Have Been Wise? This is one of the tracks, and we'll say farewell with this.
Okay. I wrote this song late at night. Well, I finished it off late at night, the last, 5 or 6 verses of it or something, and then I had to cut them down. So
what was the verse about the gorilla driving the car up the tree?
Well, that one didn't make it to the final cut. I was pretty upset about that. I thought it could have been quite... I might put out another version, actually. I like that. It's progressive, yeah.
You could put on the long play version.
No, the topic was about, reminiscing over breakups, like why did I even go there, do that? be with that person. So it's a combination of my stories, all my girlfriends' sob stories on the phone, everyone I've met at a gig who's ever shared with me their misfortunes. For some reason, people just come and tell me things like this. So I've just put it all into one beautiful song.
You have to learn to be unapproachable like me.
Yeah, I really, really should have been wise, and it's written in the style of a Irish pub ditty.
It's a beauty. Franky Valentine and Wendy Angel.
I should have been wise to the lies you were telling, the signals you're sending me. I should have been wise. You had your fun with me, I was too blind to see. You were so open-armed, I never thought of harm. Always believed in the stories you spun. Now take a look and see just what you've done to me. I should have been wise. I should have been wise to the things you weren't saying, the parts you were playing. I should have been wise. Left when I had the chance, victim of circumstance. I should have run away. Now my whole world is grey. Smiles and the laughter were just a disguise. I should have walked away. There's nothing left to say. I should have been wise. I should have been wise. I gave my life to you, nothing you said was true. I should have been wise. There's nothing left to do except to get over you. You were so open-armed, I never thought of harm. Always believed in the stories you spun. Now take a look and see just what you've done to me. I should have been wise. I should have been wise. I should have been wise.
FM 99.3, in tune with our community.